Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, the information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at an update on the fraud case of the SEC versus John Berta and George Palikaros. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol ARM, where there has been significant news with regard to Apple. And also I'm going to be sharing with you 2 monthly paying dividend stocks, which I think have a tremendous value. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Yahoo Finance, we can see inflation is back in focus, Apple's iPhone event and what else to know this week. So we can also see from investing.com, the S&P 500 tumbled on Friday to the post-worst week since 2023. The Nasdaq dropped 2% for the worst weekly performance since 2022. So not a great start for September, and September is generally one of the bad months of the year, probably the worst. We can see here all the areas here: Dow Jones down 1%, S&P 500 down 1.7%, Nasdaq down 2.55%, and the small cap 2000 also down close to 2%. So the significant data this week is CPI inflation Wednesday, PPI inflation Thursday. So that data will then determine the outcome of interest rates going forward, and we also have jobless claims on Thursday, and finally another big week here for earnings. And the ones that are in particular in the Discord that we will be looking at include Oracle, GME and also Adobe. Have a look at an update in terms of the SEC's fraud case against Berta and Palikaros and what T4 Media has posted here. SEC versus Berta, the plaintiff, which is the SEC, and the memorandum of law in opposition to the defendant's motion to transfer venue. So with defendants, we're talking about John Berta and George Palikaros. So we have a look at the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, SEC versus John Berta and George Palikaros, and we can see the statement is that the plaintiff, which is the SEC, they are having an opposition to the defendant's motion to transfer venue, and this is dated September the 4th 2024. So we'll have a look at key details shared in this. So starting with first of all their preliminary statement, we can see here they are alleging that the defendants engaged in a nationwide fraud through which they schemed to manipulate the price of Torchlight Energy. At that time that was trading on the Nasdaq, and then sell Torchlight stock to investors at inflated prices. And then they are saying the 2 defendants, Berta and Palikaros, committed the securities fraud from their respected residences. And what they are also going on to say here in terms of the relevant background, they're saying basically the allegations against the defendants and location of operative facts. They are alleging that the defendants engaged in the fraudulent scheme to manipulate the price of Torchlight stock and sell this stock to investors at inflated prices. They then caused Torchlight to conduct an at-the-market offering at the peak of their price manipulation, selling 16.2 million Torchlight shares to investors at inflated prices. So I would like to see details of this because I'm unaware of this particular sale, but let's see what they say. And let's now proceed to have a look at some responses. And what Scott has posted in response to this update is that Berta and Palikaros could not print the 1 billion shorts in MMTLP, and they didn't force Schwab to oversell 90 million shares to the 7,500 Schwab clients. So very good point there. And Scott has plenty of time to add defendants in his lawsuit. He has a straight shot at the US Supreme Court because he has filed for injunctions on Thursday. So it looks like he's made a great attempt at his case here. And he's also saying here, an economic expert can come in and state, yes, this was a short squeeze, and based on these cancel orders, Mr. Scott could have gotten blank 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 X amount number of for every share. So that figure is yet to be determined, and I think Scott is working on that. So another reaction from Paul here, he stated, this filing made me laugh. The SEC devoted almost 1 page discussing flight arrangements for Berta and Palikaros in an attempt to keep the hearing in New York. How about the SEC take a local flight to the other districts of Texas? So looks like the SEC are not prepared to do this. And what Glassguy stated is good luck with that investigation, but let me get this straight. They are investigating the CEO of a NASDAQ traded stock. They believe that was part of a fraud, and the QSIP number there shared, and then they appropriated the same QSIP to another company while it's still under investigation, and that company now trades on the OTC. So let's have a look at details of what the Glassguy is sharing here. So what Trevor has posted here is, having searched 200 companies out of the thousands on the OTC Pink, Bitech is the only company where the QSIP is not applicable. Why did they file with TRCH QSIP on the OTC markets, tagging in FINRA and the SEC? So question for them. And why has this not been rectified, and what has this cross-contamination done to regulatory data? So again, great question there, and he goes on to say there may be more Bitechs behind the scenes, more shells used to cover the crime. This is highly probable, as we are extremely lucky to find Bitech due to the 5% rule, and this is a huge crime currently still in progress. So it looks like the evidence is there, but obviously we're not going to get a response because obviously it could be self-incriminating if there is a response. And what Phantom has stated here is that he hopes that John Bird and Polikaris have their legal teams looking into the Bitech filings using the old MMAT TRCH identifier and the history of individuals involved. And I believe George Polikaris has looked at this post, and it may be the case that he is acknowledging potentially using this. And what Lady K has stated here is QSIPs are never reused, RICO charges need to be brought. So again, very, very valid point. And I think shout out here to Timmy, who's I think originally shared this post with a significant thread. So go ahead and check out Timmy's post on this, where he stated he did not abandon my post. He had to go to Dark 030 and do what's best for the community. So he was on a top secret mission, crossed his T's, crossed the I's, and assure you there isn't a stone that he has not yet turned over. So this is a tremendous thread there, looking at the link between BTTC and obviously the QSIP involved with what we have just seen in TRCH. So again, let's see how this develops. Before we look at the news with regard to ticker symbol ARM, I'd like to share with you two great monthly dividend paying stocks which were shared in our long-term investing channel in the Discord. The first one here is ticker symbol EPR, and this is a great monthly dividend stock which pays 7.2% dividend yield. And this is obviously it's regarded as a hold from Zacks rank, and the other one is ticker symbol ADC, also known as Agree Reality. That's another great monthly dividend paying stock with a 4% dividend yield, also rated as a hold from Zacks rank. So if you would like to get more details of such investments, you can go ahead and check out these out in our exclusively in the Discord. Let's move on to have a look at the news with regard to Apple and ARM, which was shared in the stock news channel, and we can see here from investing.com, Apple's new iPhone will use ARM's AI chip technology. So we will be keeping an eye on ARM, and in terms of what's happening here, ticker symbol AAPL will be using A18 chips based on the SoftBank owned ARM holdings and use the latest V9 chip design, according to a report in the Financial Times. So again, this was also shared, and the announcement is expected to occur during Apple's fall event scheduled for September the 9th. So again, we're looking at tomorrow for that, so keep an eye out on that in California. So what I'm now going to share with you is what could possibly be a good buying opportunity for ARM. So in the previous week, which was a huge red week in the market, it was down in excess of 11%, currently trading at $117.29, and on the Friday it was down in excess of 4.7%. But if we have a look at the chart for this previous 6 months, we can see at one point it was trading around about $188. So right now it has had a significant pullback at $117.29. So I think potentially a good long-term hold, ticker symbol ARM. So if you would like to get a copy of our weekly watch list as well as daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.